Three, two. Welcome to the Runs podcast. We're diving straight in this week with me, Nicky, and we've got Alex Hermanson, aka Herm.runs off Instagram. Alex, thank you very much for your time. How's it going? Everything good?
Everything is great. Thank you, fellas, for having me. I'm stoked to get on here and let's chat it up.
Let's definitely do
thanks
that.
for coming on. Appreciate your time.
What have you got over there? Nice coffee.
Yeah. This is my second one of the day. I'm running on fumes today, as the kids say. I just got back from the West Coast, and so it's a 3-hour time change. So I'm a little bit still shaken up from that little bit of jet lag.
How long a flight is that as well?
It's basically the same distance. So I was in Vegas, it's like a 5-hour flight, 5.5-hour flight. It's about the same distance from where I'm at now to London. Yeah. So I've become very accustomed to the 6-hour flight recently.
Yeah, I did see, because you went to the, what's it called? Didn't you, the show in the
Sphere?
Sphere, yeah. How was that?
Yeah.
It was when I was last in Vegas, it wasn't quite finished, so we missed out on that.
Oh, you got to come back. It is the most amazing place on the face of the earth. Like, you walk into the building and you literally step into the future. It's insane. I mean, first of all, my favorite band in the world is the Grateful Dead. So seeing them play there a bunch of times now and just being in that environment, it literally, like, I don't have words. I've been trying to come up with a way to describe it for, when was the first show? We went in the beginning of June. So since the beginning of June, I've been trying to come up with words to describe the Sphere, and I just can't do it. It's out of this world.
Yeah, like, I've only seen, obviously, pictures from inside, and then you see, I think it was the F1 I watched, where they do the outside and all the mental. Looks insane.
Yeah, F1 did a good job of showing what it kind of looks like on the outside. The inside just, like, will blow your freaking mind, dude. It's insane.
Yeah, we need to get back then.
Absolutely. Plus, what's wrong? Nothing wrong with a weekend in Vegas, right?
No, definitely not. I've been 3 times, and
Yeah. Did you come out on top? You gamble a little bit?
A little bit. I don't think I lost, so I done all right. Yeah, I think I broke even. The one time I was on a stag do, and that was a bit messy, so can't really remember. The other time I went with the wife for my 40th. Done all right that time, and then what was the third time? Yeah, didn't really do a lot of gambling the third time.
It couldn't have been bad enough for you not to remember.
No.
That's the important part. If you remember it, you either won a lot or you lost a lot. Yeah, and this time,
pretty even ground.
That's the best. That's the best place to end up, because you know what? You know, no harm, no foul. I came out on top this weekend. I feel really good right now.
Yeah.
I am living on cloud 9. I think someone in my life's going to get some nice presents this year.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I went once, and I think I gambled $20.
Okay, that lasted you about 7 minutes?
I was there for other. I enjoyed their other offerings. I was there for other offerings.
Yeah, you was there for other.
Yeah, big Cirque du Soleil guy, right?
Oh, so you're back. So where do you live?
So I live in Boston, Massachusetts, right in the heart of the biggest marathon in the world, they say. Yeah. Right now I'm down at my parents' house. If you couldn't tell, I'm in my childhood bedroom with all of the fun little Play-Doh and surfboards and stuff. What was that?
No, didn't know Boston was big on these surfing.
Actually, you'd be shocked. There's some surfing in Boston. Yeah, we're right on the coast there. There's some guys that'll get out there. I mean, it's freezing. It is very cold in Boston, so it's definitely not the optimal surf location, but you can catch some waves.
Nice.
What is Olympic fever like in America? I said to Nick earlier, it's nice to have you on now to know what the Olympic fever is like in America at the moment, because it's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's as strong as Europe. I think that, like, everybody across the pond is enjoying it a bit more because it's in France. I don't know what is going on in the States, but I think it snuck up on a lot of us. Like, we were like, oh yeah, the Olympics are coming. And then it was like, oh, the Olympics are literally happening as we speak. Like, usually I I was telling you this right before. Like, I tune in like every day most years. This year, I've been very sporadic about my Olympic watching. I've tuned into all the skate events. I'm a huge skateboard fan. I don't think I talk about that ever or a lot. I love watching skateboarding. So I've tuned into all the skating events. I've turned into all the beach volleyball events, both men's and women's. And then outside of that, anything that I can catch. You know, I had to watch Noah Lyles the other day. We were able to get it on the plane, which was pretty cool. But outside of that, man, I could have been a much better Olympic watcher this year.
Yeah. What's the feeling toward America's so big, isn't it? But what's the feeling towards Noah Lyles out there?
I think everybody loves him. I hope everybody loves him. He's freaking the fastest man in the world right now. I mean, I have no issues with him. No qualms.
No.
I think what Gareth might be referring to, like last year when he won the Worlds, he referred to was it the NBA? Like, champs, and I think they've dug that back up since his win again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's some basketball fans out there that aren't too stoked on Noah Lyles. I don't know. I think that's good. That's good talk. I think that it brought more eyes to the sport. I think that's pretty good. That's good stuff. We need that. We need that in running.
100%. I think that's what he's good at, and that's what he's brought, along with the Netflix doc Sprint. I think that's the whole point of it, because we've talked about it loads on you. The running is hugely popular with like the likes of us, you normal people, if we say, but then the top athletes, like for what they put in and what they do compared to other sports, they don't get as much recognition or even money, do they? I know some of the top end guys do, but like it's pretty low key in the ranking of sports, I'd imagine, and I imagine even more so in America, because obviously you've got American football, baseball, basketball, what else, you know, race, NASCAR and things that are probably higher up on people's preferred sports.
I have a real question for you, because I got this a lot in London. How big do you guys think NASCAR is here? Like,
I don't know. From what is sort of everyone says about how big the big races are, like what's the main one? I can't think though. They've talked about it on
Talladega or Indy 500.
Indy 500, that's the one. I mean, everyone says that is just monstrous. So I would imagine it's pretty big, you know. But is it just in one? Yeah. That's sort of, I get that feeling as well. It's just sort of the south area, like more.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just very American. Like it's a very, very like deep South American thing to watch. And yes, they'll draw huge crowds, like 500,000 people, but it's like a very niche 500,000 people coming out to a race event. Not many people are waking up on a Sunday morning to throw on the NASCAR races. There's more people in the States watching F1 now after Drive to Survive came out. So like it's not as big. Like when I was in London, I think it was for the marathon. It wasn't this most recent trip. People are like, "Are you turning into the NASCAR race this week? Are you watching NASCAR?" I'm like, dude, I don't think anybody's tuning into the NASCAR race. American football, though, is as big as it's advertised. That's, you know, people stop what they're doing on Sundays and we throw on football for, I don't know, 10 hours.
I mean, it's got bigger here now, and like whenever I've been over there, I can see how big it is when I've been there on Sundays to like watch games. Yeah, you can tell that that's obviously.
Yeah, it's the best.
That's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we sort of got close friends through a fantasy football league.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Who are your teams?
Funny enough,
I'm 49ers fan.
And I'm Raiders.
Okay, West Coast. I respect it. Those are two good picks.
I don't know if Raiders are anymore.
In the 80s, obviously the Niners were doing well. They were
Joe Montana.
Yeah, over here, the only game back then you would get to see was the Super Bowl. So then, obviously, being a kid, you just pick who you see and don't you, and who's winning. So that's what I stuck with them.
Mine was NWA really. And
I was about to say, was it NWA? That's great. I was going to make a joke about that, but if that's the reason, hey, hell yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and over here, Raiders is the easiest gear to get as well. We don't get all the franchise merch or anything over here. It's just like you get a lot. It's more now like Primark, pre-mark. There's a lot more like deals now where they do release it. But back 10 years ago when we started playing fantasy, I guess it was the year after funny, Jacoby Jones died this month, didn't he? And it was the year after that blackout Super Bowl that we started. But yeah, so Raiders and Niners.
That's
where I was out in Vegas because I went out. I've been out a couple of times, Vegas, and then we went to LA to watch the Rams against. Who did Gurley play for first?
Oh,
it was Rams. Eh? Eagles. They must have.
He would have been with the Rams.
Yeah, been out a couple of times to watch it as well, and we get it over here as well, don't we? And you've been to London, but once you've been out to watch it, London games are shit.
Oh, so bad. I mean, you guys get like the Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers. You're not exactly getting hyped for those two teams. I'm sorry. No. That's the product that they brought over to London for you guys, like for your close games.
It is grown though.
It has. It's insane. And honestly, the rumblings are that the Jaguars could potentially have like 8 games a season in London, which would be pretty nuts.
That would be mad. He did try to buy the Wembley Stadium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was the rumours then, that would then be the next step.
But the Spurs Stadium is built for NFL, isn't it? As well.
Yeah. That stadium's huge. I mean, it fits right in with the American football stadiums for sure. Yeah.
Have you got a soccer team, Al?
I do. Newcastle.
What?
Yeah.
Recent or historical?
No, recent. So here's the funny thing. So I got into soccer, football, probably 3 years ago when I started at this job. My buddy, who was like my counterpart, he's a diehard Chelsea fan. Literally going to the Chelsea match tonight, actually, in the States. They're over here playing Real. And I was like, dude, I am going to pick the first team that I can think of because I need to just start following this with you. So my girlfriend at the time was going to school undergrad in London at the University of Richmond, which is right across from Fulham, Craven Cottage. So I was a Fulham fan for a couple seasons. And then on my most recent trip to London, marathon trip, we went up to Newcastle and I absolutely fell in love with the town and the area and I would move there tomorrow. So now I'm a Newcastle fan and I'm going to be a Newcastle fan.
I can see why that's a great city.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
And it has nothing to do with them being the third richest team in football now. I promise.
That just helps.
Yeah, it just helps. But genuinely, I don't know if you guys have a lot of Newcastle listeners, but you have the greatest city I think I've ever visited in my entire life. It's everything I wanted London to be and better because it's actually quiet and quaint and you kind of get that, coastal experience. It's just, I loved it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I know London can feel too big in a sense, and it's too different areas, and you're not feeling that sort of one. Whereas Newcastle, big city, but not stupidly big. Again, like a New York or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, you can walk the whole thing if you really want to. And for running, for us runners, that along the river, I think it is, where you can just run up and down and around. Oh my God, how beautiful! Yeah, you can run forever.
Yeah, they've got the biggest actually UK half marathon, the North. Run.
Yep. 40 was telling me about that a couple weeks ago. 40 runs.
Yeah. Do you know what's the second biggest?
70,000 people. Even more now. I think it's bigger now. It's huge. For the UK, that's pretty big for a half marathon.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Giant.
But if you ever want to do the second biggest, come to Cardiff. That's the second biggest in the UK.
Is Cardiff that much? Is Cardiff that big?
Yeah, we were really hoping we would have you in Cardiff this week because that was on the card, wasn't
it? If I didn't have one thing happening here in Boston, so I have the Falmouth Road Race coming up next week. If that wasn't happening this weekend, I would be there. I'm literally dropping my parents off at the airport tomorrow to come to Cardiff. This won't be out yet. Yeah, it's a surprise for my dad.
Oh well.
Nice. That's fine. It's not out till Friday morning.
Yeah, no. So they'll be listening as they're at the Billy Joel concert in Cardiff this weekend. So that's what they're going for.
Nice.
Oh, we had a lovely donut shop lined up, a nice run across some of the Cardiff half course or one of the park runs. But who knows? One day, innit?
Listen, it won't be very long. I apparently am taking a lot of trips over that way. Like it just keeps happening. So I'm sure I will be over before you know it.
Yes, definitely. Before we get on to running, on the subject of Olympics, I put a poll on our Instagram page this week about the Olympic ring tattoos. Can we get Olympic ring tattoos, or do we have to be Olympians?
You got to be an Olympian.
Yeah?
I will get a lot of things tattooed on my body. I don't think I'll ever be an Olympian, so I don't think that'll be one thing I can get. That and the guy I made a bet with last week, I'm a diehard Red Sox fan, baseball. And so I had to run a half marathon because they lost to the Yankees. And the guy who made the bet with came back and was like, for the next time we play each other, what if we got the opposing team's tattoos on it? I was like, you couldn't pay me. Like, you could literally offer me $500 million tomorrow to get a Yankees tattoo, and I wouldn't do it.
Not happening.
It's not happening. Like,
No.
that is the amount of hatred I have for that team.
I agree.
And I think those are like the two tattoos I wouldn't get.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just, I just like winding people up. But
yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I do too.
You'd be the guy that got the Olympic ring tattoos that wasn't an Olympian, and then everyone forgets about it in 10 years. You're in Starbucks grabbing your flat white, and somebody looks at the rings, and you're like, shot put 2016. I don't know. I don't know.
I could pull that off, I think. I think I'm big enough for a shot put. It would be something like something super stupid. It would be like I don't know, like ping pong or something.
Yeah. Or just get the 4 rings and just say, waiting for my call up, waiting to go.
No, I feel like I am very far from someone who's like traditional or like believes in things, but I think that's one thing I can respect enough to be like, yeah, if you got the Olympic rings, you earned that. You did something that I will never accomplish, and props to you.
Fair shot.
Deal. Right, shall we talk about running?
We can. Yeah, I mean,
it's a running podcast.
as much as I love running, talking about it is just as fun.
Yeah, and we kind of keep it nice and loose, and we'll just see how it goes. We haven't got anything. We've got a couple of questions at the end off Instagram, and Nikki does. I've seen you do a this or that on your story. Nikki does do a couple of this or that. But did you run in school? Did you do sports in school? How did school go for you? Sport-wise?
Yeah, so I played sports my whole life growing up. Baseball, hockey predominantly. I played college baseball. I played hockey, up until that point. But outside of that, running was like not a thing that I did. I avoided running like it was the plague, especially because it was always used as punishment. If we sucked or did something wrong, we're running.
Aubrey said the same. Funny enough.
It makes you not want to ever run or do it for fun. So like when I would be going to, training or some sort and I see the cross country team run by, I'm like, these people are insane. You run on purpose for your sport. I feel the same way about swimmers. If you are a professional or like swimmer type, oh my God, props to you, because that is insane to me.
Yeah, that's blown my mind this week. La Baguette, the French boy that's over in America, he was just freak. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I don't know. We've had triathletes on as well and spoke about swimming, and I just can't understand the concept of swimming. It's too much to do.
It hurts too much. And like my lung capacity is already pretty garbage. It just gets exploited once I'm in the water. Especially, what I was watching, speaking of the Olympics, I was watching some water polo the other day. That's the most impressive sport in the whole Olympics. They're just treading water. They look like they're standing on like boxes under the water. Nope, they're treading.
Holding their breath for so long, and then still fighting over the ball, and
they're like
swimming
Yeah, they're playing. They're literally wrestling in the water and not dying.
Yeah,
I'd be gone. You rest in peace, Herm, because I'm out if you got me in the water polo pool.
It's quite popular in European holiday destinations, so the Europeans are pretty decent water poloists anyway, because it's always the 3:00 game in European all-inclusive holidays, isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys just play for fun?
Well, not so much in the UK, but a lot of in Europe they do.
Oh, okay, like
especially sort of Croatia, they're all good at it.
Oh, yeah, they're sick.
Yeah, they're all good at it.
Yeah. I can see it.
Good. So hockey.
Yep.
Ice hockey, or what's the other hockey called? Ground hockey, is that what we call it? Or
Yeah.
just hockey?
There's like ball hockey. That's with like an actual ball. There's roller hockey with rollerblades. Ice hockey was my thing. Traveling up and down the east coast of the states here, going up to Canada sometimes, and it's such a fun sport, especially when at a young age. I was like 12 years old. I was 6 feet tall, skating around the ice at 6 feet tall however many you guys go by meters.
Nah.
Like,
No, we do it for.
oh, you do feet. Okay, cool. Yeah, 6 feet. So like I was 6 feet tall at 12 years old. I was head and shoulders above everybody and a thick guy. So like hockey was the most fun sport in the world to me. Nobody was stopping me. I'd body everybody.
Like Dean Portman.
Yes. Oh, perfect reference. Except I was not a Bash brother. I was a big old softy. I was like, probably if I got hit, I was like the softest guy on the ice when I was that age. It wasn't until I was like 15 or 16 I was like, oh wait, it doesn't hurt that bad. I'm good. I can get hit a little bit. But no, I mean, epic reference there. First podcast I've ever been on to make a Mighty Ducks reference, and I applaud that. But yeah, that was the childhood. So mostly hockey growing up, and then as soon as I got too many concussions and head issues and stuff, baseball was my top priority, and fell in love with it. Really loved baseball, but then got a bunch of shoulder surgeries.
Yeah,
that sort of stops that.
Yeah.
In the UK now as well, concussion is leading to a lot of people doing endurance sports as well. You get a lot of people, see a lot of people moving over from rugby union because that's just brutal without any pads or anything, and there's a lot of concussions within that, and then people seem to be moving over. We're coupled with that and COVID, people are just moving over to endurance sports now as well, and that's had a massive kind of boom for running, biking, and swimming as well.
Yeah,
So
I can see it.
there,
Very similar over here. A lot less. So American football, you're seeing kids start to hit at a much later age. So I mean, when we were growing up, there was like Pop Warner football, and you'd be tackling kids from the age of like 8, and it's now a lot more flag football, like grabbing flags off people's waist rather than hitting each other until the age of like even 13, 14, because I mean, it's crazy, these studies that are coming out about CTE and brain injuries. And I mean, it's very similar. I think hockey, the age of checking is getting pushed back. I think that they're trying to protect the brains of the youth, which is probably really smart, because I mean, I've definitely lost a few brain cells coming up in the years that I did between hitting kids with going head first into the boards, whatever. Like you don't even think about it. We were just out there skating and knocking heads around, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, I went unconscious there for a minute. That was kind of wild. Like the first time I flipped over someone's back and landed on my head, that was a wild experience. Guess what? I was in the next shift 22 seconds later and was back on the ice. It's like, we just didn't think about things the same way that we do now, because we had helmets on, right? As long as you have a helmet on, you're safe. But really, that's not the case. So yeah, we're seeing a big shift. I don't know if it's endurance sports or just we're making the actual sports that kids are playing a little bit less contact friendly.
Safer, but not as fun, maybe. I don't know.
I think you can still enjoy it with making it a little bit less, intense, a little less hitting. Yeah. I think that American football could take a really great note from rugby, though. One of the most impressive things I've ever seen was we were down in Disney playing baseball, but there was a rugby tournament going on, and just the form tackling that they would practice, right? Tackling in a proper manner, as opposed to just literally throwing your body at guys and whatever happens. I think that American football could really take a note from that. Like, here's how to properly wrap someone up and protect both your head and the person that you're tackling from, serious injury. I think also part of that is like not having pads. Have to be a lot more comfortable or careful without pads on both ways.
Yeah, it's changing with rugby as well, and the tackle area is getting smaller and smaller and smaller now. Again, for safety. But we had a good time playing without safety when we've had the best of both worlds, haven't we?
Dude, we didn't care. We did not give a shit. We played American football without pads, tackling in the street. And you know what? It was the best. Who cared? We'd get a little bumps and bruises here and there. Maybe something we should probably take to the ER occasionally, but like that was growing up. That was the best. And I don't think we're taking it away from kids, but we're definitely, you know, making it safer for them, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, probably. So, shoulder injuries, that stopped baseball as well. Any breaks or just straight into running? Because we've only been aware of it for like 6 months, maybe.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've only been running for like 6 months, it feels like. No, so I had my first shoulder surgery in college. I've torn my labrum in my shoulder 3 times or 4 times, maybe 5 times now, probably. I had my first shoulder surgery in college, tried to come back for it in rehab, tore it up again, quit baseball, got another surgery, and then didn't do any exercise other than play golf, which doesn't even count at all because then we hopped into the global pandemic and I was playing 36 holes of golf a day. You were not getting me off the golf course. It was the only thing we could do. It was like tee times were split so far. You were the only person out there by yourself. I could load up my golf cart with a pack of beer, grab some cigs, and just go. And like nobody's gonna bother me. And my job at the time was like social media guy for a small lacrosse company. So I would make like my 3 posts a day, reply to comments or whatever while I'm on the golf course, but I could just hang out out there, you know, until the sun went down. So I golfed literally. I probably played 220 rounds of golf for 3 years straight. And then my girlfriend started training for New York City, and I was like, I can't believe you're doing that. That's some crazy shit. I can go drink beer and play golf. And then watched her do it. And I was very moved by the whole experience and threw on the running shoes the next day and never looked back.
Yeah, that's like, I obviously know your story about that, watching New York, and then you ran it the following year, didn't you? Which is in a year, you've gone full and run the New York Marathon. That's like unreal.
That was an awesome year. Yeah, I mean, just coming off of it, honestly. I don't recommend nothing to marathon in 1 year for everybody. I think I have, and I made a reel or TikTok about this the other day, is like we have to stop comparing, you know, my journey to your journey to anybody's journey. I think that you can take inspiration from my first year of running, but I don't think that everybody's body can handle a full marathon from nothing to marathon in one single year. It's kind of like, I mean, we were just talking, I had hockey, I had baseball, I had other, you know, just playing sports for fun. I had all this other buildup in my entire life. So although I was a lazy fuck for a couple of years, I was able to then channel some of that like competitive nature and that athleticism that I was able to use and put it into marathon training. So like if you went from never playing sports your entire life or doing any kind of physical activity, maybe running the mile back in, you know, middle school for your fitness test, to trying to train for a marathon, it might not happen in a year because you've never experienced, you know, pain, you've never experienced muscle soreness, you've never had to work through these things. And it's really hard to like try and be like, listen, like I did this, I think it's really awesome, take inspiration from it, but like it might not work for you, and that's okay. There is nothing wrong with that. You don't lose any credibility. You just might need a little bit of extra time to get to that place. And I think that's a really important note because like I think sometimes, actually, I don't even think, I know most of the time online everything looks glamorous, everything looks sexy, everything looks easy. Marathon training's freaking hard, dude. It's never easy. The marathon itself, freaking hard, dude. So like set a goal and give yourself an adequate amount of time to try and achieve that goal. I knew that a marathon in 1 year would be doable, but it might not be that way for everybody.
Yeah, that's
I've got Manchester in, well, it's the same date as London next year. I've never run a marathon.
April.
I've never run a marathon, but I'm the most inconsistent runner you'll ever meet in your life. And when I do start running, it comes back quite fast. So I'm sure once I get into the swing of things and start getting ready for Manchester next year, it'll be fine. But if I just signed up today because I watched this podcast, it's going to be less fine. Mickey,
it's going to hurt a little bit more.
Closer.
Yeah, you've done a few halves, haven't you, over the years? It's not like you've done
yeah.
marathon. like obviously you did, Alex, but that's obviously, like say, it's not going to work for everyone. And I've done a fair few, and they're fucking hard. Like you work hard in the training, and even on the day they are hard. And especially New York, like I done it the same. That's one tough course.
Yeah, ooh.
Like
it kicks your ass.
Everywhere.
There's so many parts of the New York course that they don't tell you about. Say it again, Nikki.
Yeah, exactly. I was told, there's just a couple of bridges. That's the only lumps there is.
No. They're freaking liars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Brooklyn, you're running up a hill half the time. Then the 16th Street Bridge, or 56th or whatever it is, or the 16th Mile Bridge, that's what it is.
Queensborough, is it it's called?
Queensborough Bridge, yes.
I was ruined from there.
Literal hell. Like, you want to experience the depths of hell, go run the freaking Queensborough Bridge after 16 other miles. And then you leave there, you do some more bridges, and then you hit 5th Avenue, which they also didn't tell you is like going up an entire mountain. Yeah. I mean, that race is so hard. So, funny enough, my girlfriend has done 2 marathons now, both New York. And after London, I texted her, I'm like, babe, marathons can actually be not that bad. And so she signed up for Chicago, and I don't think she understands yet how much less bad it's going to be than New York.
Chicago's like downhill compared to New York.
Yeah, no, literally. I mean, my favorite thing about London, right? So it was my second marathon, and you start at the top of a mountain from my pen, and I remember going down. I think we go downhill for like 2 miles probably.
Yeah. 5K, you go generally downhill, yeah.
Yep. So I'm down, and in the back of my head, all I can think is, we're going to have to go back up at some point. That's how all these courses work. You got to go back up. Guess what? We never went back up. It was amazing. It was all flat from there. Oh, the London course was amazing.
Tower Bridge, which is nowhere near as bad as the American bridge.
The Tower Bridge was flat compared to any American bridge, yeah.
It is. It's a big difference.
I think the only time there was a little bit of steepness was in Canary Wharf, if I remember correctly. Like, there was just a little bit of an incline, but it wasn't anything crazy.
No, it's pretty good one, to run.
Yeah, I love London's my new favorite marathon. It was remarkable.
Mm. You've got now coming up Berlin, haven't you, soon?
Yep. I have Berlin coming up, and I'm running Chicago. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So for Berlin, I'm going to be going for a big old PR. I'm trying to go sub 4:45. You heard it here first. And then in Chicago, I'm going to be pacing someone for their first ever marathon, and I'm really excited about that. That's going to be really fun. So yeah, got a little back-to-back going. And then next year we're just doing ultras. I'm done running marathons. Too much pressure in the marathon.
But you'll have 5 stars then, won't you?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Right? No, I'll have 4 because I'll need Boston.
Oh, you haven't done Boston.
Boston and Tokyo. No, I didn't do Boston. I don't know if I'll ever do Boston. If you guys want to talk about some controversial opinions, I just think that Boston is rooted in like a lot of really fucked up, like just very misogynistic and elitist, kind of grounds, and it rubs me the wrong way. And I don't love that. And I think that maybe it's a race that I pass on. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my opinion one day and I'll run it. But as of right now, I think I'd rather run a race that really represents Boston a bit more, which is like 26-point True put on by, Pioneers and Sid and his whole team. And they do a really great job with it. And it's like a true Boston marathon. You truly run around the city of Boston as opposed from, Hopkinton all the way to the city where you run for like 2 miles in the actual Boston proper.
Is that so? Going on that, is that because of all the BQ and the history with all the?
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about the BQ stuff. I mean, I think anybody who qualifies should get to run it, obviously. But I also am not going to be mad if an influencer runs it. I think it's more just like the BAA.
Yeah,
it's a lot of old white guys, not to like be like too geopolitical, but it's just a lot of elitist kind of guys running it, and they don't love people like me, especially like kind of flamboyant, large dudes who, like to have a good time when they run a marathon and aren't too keen on rules and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Obviously, you see a lot of things with people with the filming of the course and everything on that and everything getting taken down. I think Floberg's got taken down, then he got asked to take it down.
Yeah. Because
I not last year, the year before, and like it was my favourite. It was my favourite weekend. The whole place, Boston. I absolutely loved the place, and then the race. Just, it was brilliant. I had a great day. But then, you do obviously hear things like that. Obviously, I don't know. I know the history of the race, and like obviously it's the oldest continuous road marathon, etc. But I did. I've heard a bit about the BEA, but I don't know too much in depth about them.
Yeah, no, and honestly, the whole weekend itself is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I think the festivities and all the fun pop-ups and everything you can do shakeout-wise, unbelievable. I think it's really just like the kind of roots of it for me, where I'm like, maybe I pass on this one. And I mean, it's like one of those things where it's like maybe there's something emerging that like is going to become bigger and better, and maybe it's something like 26 Point True.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
So you went, right, fuck it, I'm going to run a marathon, I'm going to train for a marathon. Did you create content throughout that, or when did the content tag into it? Have you got a background in content from your day jobs as well?
I had a little bit. So back in 2019, I had a buddy who started a lacrosse podcast, and I jumped on his podcast and was like, oh, this is pretty fun. I like talking into a microphone. And then also like we would start going to these lacrosse events and I'd start vlogging and stuff. And this is back with like the full camera setup and everything. So I got experience talking to the camera then. It never really was huge. It did all right, but it wasn't anything like I have now. And then it got very political. Like the lacrosse scene is kind of like the running scene in the sense that it's very small. Everybody knows everybody, and it can get very, very political and annoying. And I was like, dude, I'm done. I don't like dealing with this. I don't like people. I just don't want to put my face on the internet ever again. Deleted social media for a few years even. And then as soon as I'm like probably like 6 months into my running journey or so, was watching a lot of running content, and like I love everybody in running for the most part, like really amazing people, but like I never saw someone that even looked slightly like me other than like Brendan Carpenter is a good friend now. Big dude, got into running, lost a lot of weight, looks awesome. He's a great inspiration. But there weren't many people, running that were just big and slow and kind of just wanted to do it for the hell of it. Nothing, there wasn't like this crazy time goal. It wasn't sub 3 or anything like that. And so I was like, I'm just gonna like make a video, like just one, maybe two, and throw it up on TikTok, right? It's just me and my phone. I'm just gonna talk to it. Blew up. Did really well. I mean, I say blew up. It probably got like 100 likes, and I thought that it was like the biggest piece of content I've ever made in my life. But then I just started talking to the camera more, and people started, consuming the content. And I was only doing TikToks for, the first 3 months. I was like, if I ever have to not just record on my phone and edit on TikTok, I'm done. I'm done as soon as I can't do that. And then they were like, oh, the world's ending. They're going to delete TikTok. You won't be able to post anymore. I was like, gosh, shit, I'm going to get on Instagram. And then then I hop on Instagram like 3 months later. And now I'm editing in a third-party app, and I'm posting all over the place. And it's it's still the most bare bones thing in the world. Like it's literally.
I was going to say, it's your editing and I know what I'm looking at so much more than kind of others maybe, but it's just your phone and it's really simple editing. But you can almost you can tell your videos are going to be the same. It's going to be you standing in front of the camera, then it's going to be you running with the phone. Actually, you can tell a home video even if you weren't in it because of the way it's set up, and that's quite nailed down now as well. But it's really simple because it's just you and your phone and a free app probably, or one you have to pay for just not to get the name at the end of the video.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You pay your $7.99 or whatever. But no, and that's what it is. I wanted it to be the most bare bones thing. I want it to be raw. I just want it to be raw and authentic in what I am and what I'm thinking. Because I like kind of with that social media job I was telling you about and doing a little bit of vlogging, I learned how to do all the editing, like the Premiere Pro, the cuts, the fancy, like the Aubrey transitions. I mean, he is a wizard, right? Like he is a true
you
artist.
have to be on YouTube, don't you? Your videos would die on YouTube because you need to have all the Aubrey stuff in there.
Exactly. So like if I got on YouTube, I'm still working on it. I don't even want to do running stuff as much as I just want to do like day in the life stuff, like daily vlogging again. And I would go back to like better editing and better, more constructive, storytelling and stuff like that. But for now, this is just me holding up my phone. I can edit a video in 12 minutes and get it up because that's all that it is. It's just me talking to my phone. The most time consuming part of editing for me is just whittling it down from 10 minutes of content to 2 because I say way too much stuff. Like I just talk way too much. It's why the long form podcasting stuff works well for me because I don't know. I just have to go into detail about everything.
But it's blowing up fast as well.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. It's been the craziest year of my entire life. It's like one day I'm running and nobody knows who the hell I am. It's just some random shirtless guy in Boston that nobody knows. And I don't know, 6 months later, people are starting to say what's up to me. And like now I go on a run and get to meet people all throughout it, get to, talk, like host a run club. It's insane. It's truly like the coolest thing in the world. I mean, even like, I don't know, you can't take it for granted, but it's like, even like when you're like, I'm at the Dead show at the Sphere and 3 people stop me at the concert and just to be like, dude, what's up? I just got to say hi. And I was like, dude, that's sick. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You really can't.
It's weird because we live in South Wales, like a tiny little pocket of Wales. And this podcast is only really, it gets listens and views all over the world according to Acast, but it's mainly like a South Wales little podcast. And we get it like when we go to different races, and Nicky gets it more because he races a lot more and more people say hello to him. But you're getting it on like a global scale as well. You like will run one of the majors and people will be like, what's up, Herm? It's mad, isn't it?
It's insane. I mean, the craziest story is like when I was over for the marathon, we hop on our train after the marathon to go up to Edinburgh. And the 2 girls next to me are like sitting at their table and they're just like giggling on the train. And next thing I know, I'm like looking over and they're like, hey, we just need to tell you, like, we love your content. I'm like, I'm on a train at 6 a.m. from London to Edinburgh. And 2 girls just happen to know who I am that are sitting next to me. Like, that is, dude, it's insane. And like, I'm so thankful for it. I'm the coolest part about the whole thing is that people feel comfortable enough to like stop me, say what's up, but then also tell me about themselves. I think that is one thing to like just be like, hey, what's up, and like bounce. But then I hope like people are cool, like just stopping, like talking for a second, because I think that's like the genuine part of like why I do this. I don't do this for a hi hello. I do this because I want to make friends. I want to create this actual community where like people feel like, I'm like right there with them, and I think that's the coolest part without a doubt.
Yeah, but well, keep obviously just say like we're enjoying this stuff and keep going. Doing a great job.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And you're getting some really great opportunities as well, haven't you? How do these opportunities materialize? Like you've been in Whoop last week. So I can't remember how to say it. Saucony flew you over to London. Saucony flew you over to London. You get sent all these daps. Like, is it just in your Instagram DMs, or I know I have to email you? It is like, yes, shoot me an email, please, Adidas.
You have to email me. I mean, you probably know I'm so bad at the DMs, dude. It's like I try not to look at them. Two things here. I try not to look at the DMs too frequently. They're kind of like most people get hate in comments. For some reason, like my hate comes through the DMs. I don't know why, but so like I try to avoid that kind of negative space. But for the brand stuff, that's all emails that come through. So I have a manager, and she kind of does all of that for me. She kind of monitors my email and goes through it, and like if brands reach out, and they'll do some pitching to brands, like they'll reach out. I want to say, what was a recent deal that they reached out for me? I can't remember, but sometimes they'll reach out for me and be like, "Hey, Alex really likes this product. Would you guys, be down to work together?" But like, I try not to do too much of the branded stuff. I mean, it's like 1 or 2 posts a month. So like Whoop, for example, is like a long-term deal. That's, I'm gonna be wearing my Whoop for a long, long time, and I hope that like, one branded post a month or whatever is also feels genuine, because I think a lot of times you can get caught up, advertising something that you don't actually love for a quick buck.
Yeah.
So I
You
try
lose
to.
followers then, don't you? It's like, well, you told me Adidas yesterday, now you're trying to push these Nikes on me. It's like, stop talking shit. Get paid.
No, I know. I try. If in my dream world, one of these brands would just give me a long-term deal and I could just wear their stuff, all year round.
Which
But
brand?
also, there's a couple of them. There's a couple of them.
You can't pick one now, just in case.
No.
What was that?
A Michael
You
Jordan.
can't pick one now.
Good.
Yeah. But no, I mean, so like, I like Saucony, for example. We have such an amazing relationship already, and we get to work together a lot. They've treated me so well. They've been fans of my content. They've supported all my content. It's been lovely. So it's like, I mean, they're a prime example. I would sign up for a year-long deal with them tomorrow, because I very much endorse their product. They have very inclusive sizing on their website, and they really do a great job at like actually making an inclusive product, which is like one of the most important things for me. So like when I was in London last week, I got to meet with their head of design for all of their shoes, right? And we're talking through the Endorphin Pro 4, and I'm like, dude, I don't know how to like put this into words, but it's like the best, like most introductory carbon plated shoe. If someone needs to wear a carbon plated shoe or wants to wear it for the first time ever, I'm putting them in an Endorphin Pro 4 because this and this. And he like was like, dude, spot on. That's exactly what we're looking for. We want a shoe that everyone can wear, whether you're running a 10-minute mile, a 12-minute mile, or a 6-minute mile. You can get that same feeling from all these paces. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And I love that so much about them. And they've like kind of taken me behind the scenes there and been like, this is how this is going to work, this is how this is going to work, and this is why this is working for you or this isn't working for you. And yeah, the amount of thought that goes into the inclusivity of bigger, slower runners that remind me of myself and even fast runners is remarkable. So I have nothing but great words to say for them, and like that's why I can endorse them, so heavily.
Yeah, that's mad. Like, that's such. I would just take that opportunity. Like, that's a bless. It's like being able to talk to Tinker Hadfield, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
It's such a like great opportunity. But you've made your own way on social media, and you've built this following to get these opportunities. A long way they continue, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I think about it pretty frequently. Like, what's the longevity of it, right? Like, what if it all ended tomorrow? That worries me a little bit. There's never any kind of constant with social media, but for now, I'm gonna enjoy the ride and keep doing it and keep inspiring as much as possible, because I mean, right now, like this tarps off, suns out, Tums out movement has been like the coolest thing to ever happen to me. And I feel like it's actually made a positive impact on the running community, which is probably, that's better than any monetary thing that anyone could ever provide me. I feel like true bliss and happiness in people's running is, a million times better than anything like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and you've created like a lot of inclusivity as well, haven't you?
I think so. I hope so. I mean, like, I try and do things with everything that I do to make running more inclusive, more of an open space for people, especially like our run club, for example. Like, we just run in circles around this one area of the water in Boston so that nobody gets lost, and we can have 3 different pace groups and pass each other and say hi and chit chat and, try and make this a more fun and very low pressure environment for anybody who wants to come through, because at the end of the day, running is fun, right? That's something that we're all doing for fun. And if you go to a run club and feel intimidated, feel scared, don't really want to be there anymore, well, then you're losing the fun aspect of it and you're going to want to stop. So let's not do that.
Yeah, brilliant. Like, exactly, like, because it is a lot of anyone that turns up anywhere new at first is going to feel intimidated, pressure. Do I fit in? Am I fast enough? But like something like that, that's a great idea. Like doing looped different pressure. That's a great way to get people hopefully to come and then keep coming, and then they grow from there.
Exactly.
Because that's what we want, more people running. Because, like I say, it's the easiest. Well, it's the easiest. We all hated it at school, like you say, it was the punishment. But it's the most simplest then form of any sport, I think.
Yeah, and people, definitely. And running needs people like Noah Lyles, and it needs people like Herms, and it needs like people like us on a podcast as well. The more people talking about it, the better.
Spot on. The more chatter we get, the more, we can all grow. And also, don't forget, like, the sport itself needs to grow. Like, it's not just the runners that are running, but like running itself is ever expanding, right? I mean, there's so many different forms of running. There's so many different ways in which you can approach running. It's like when people think of running, there used to just be track and going and running as fast as you can for as long as you can, right? Now there's track, there's running ultras, there's marathons, there's people who run and eat, there's people that run and walk, and it's just like there's so many different aspects and forms to the sport. There's creative ways to run, and also so much of it is like now there's so much style coming out of running. People are picking up on like how they want to dress through running, and it's like this is all such good stuff that's happening. It's all stuff that helps bring more people in and make it more fun, and keep the sport itself growing.
100%. Like parkrun's massive here in the UK. I know you guys don't have.
Oh, I do.
There's not many though. Is in America? Is there this?
No, probably not. I'm lucky enough. I have two within 2 miles of my apartment in Boston, so I get a couple options. Yeah,
because like that in the UK, I think I don't know how long it's been going, but 20 odd years. But that was massive in like getting everyone back in or getting people into the running, and it's huge now. In me and Gareth have come from park runs and going to different places, and we're lucky where we are. We've got loads in close proximity, and we can get around to loads of different ones, and that's been massive in the UK.
Yeah.
I had to go to running clubs the other day, trying to take over from running clubs. You got running clubs as well out there, all right?
Yeah.
But I think running clubs are the next step. The more I'm seeing them now is the next step to more people feeling comfortable to kind of go out running, not officially, but in a group. Because to go to a running club, you've got to become more official as well, haven't it? But like run clubs, you can just tag along with your mates as well. And I think that's going to make a massive jump in numbers that are running as well. Do you reckon?
Without a doubt. And like a lot of people right now, there's this big thing going on in the States where it's like people are using run clubs to meet people, like to like get in relationships or whatever. Like you can hate on it all you want, but what is it doing? It's getting more people running right now. Like some of these run clubs are exploding with people who've never run before, but because it's an opportunity to meet a match, dude, I'm so here for it. I'm never gonna yuck someone's yum. If that's how you wanna, go and meet your partner, dude, I am so here for it, and I'm not gonna be mad at it. I'm not gonna go. I'm not single, so I won't be there. But I hope that like people are able to have fun and enjoy it.
It's just just gives a new meaning to speed dating, doesn't it?
Yeah, truly. They a couple of guys I was talking to the other night were telling me about how like that for their singles run, you had to pick a pace group, and one of the girls was like, well, I picked the 7-minute group because I know I needed to run with, or I needed to find someone who's faster than me or something. I'm like, hey dude, props to you, that's awesome. I love that, because like if I was single and had to go to one of those things, I'd be in like the 13-minute group because I'd be too worried about like over sweating and just being incredibly disgusting human being.
Heavy breathing over someone.
Yeah. Like I thought you'd have to wait till a third date to catch me breathing in your ear, but not tonight.
That's going to be my favorite clip for social media. Are you full-time content now, Al? Are you still working? What do you do?
Not. I'm still working 9 to 5 a little bit. I think that the job security of having, a paycheck bi-weekly is still really nice to me. Plus, over here in the States, they tie our health insurance to our job. And so you don't get health insurance being a content creator. And I really like my $36 a month health insurance. So yeah, I'm still working a little bit.
All right, cool. That was class. Really, really enjoyed that. Have we got anything else, Nick?
No, that was great. I flew along again. But...
Yeah, we'll take a quick break and then we'll get on this or that. We're going to have to call that something different because I struggle to say it every single week. This or that, and some questions from the community before we shoot off to watch the 1500 meter final. Happy with that?
Perfect. I love it.
Welcome back. We have still got Alex with us, and we're going to do a little bit of this or that. Ready, Nick?
Yeah, here we go. So simple format, this or that. You'll know the score. First up, Saucony or Adidas?
Oh, you're coming out hot. Medium. I'm gonna go with both. I know it's not allowed, but I'm gonna go with both.
Good answer. Right, next one. I don't know if this one might be hard for you as well. Red Sox or Patriots?
Oh, Red Sox.
Yeah, you're more of a baseball man, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, the Red Sox just have a place in my heart that, will just, it's a very scary place. They make me very happy and they make me very sad.
Any sports team in there, it's like, yeah, they can kill you.
Yep.
You, the happiest person alive.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think we already know this one. I did you when I listened to your 4D episode. Marathon-wise, New York or London?
London. Yeah. Yep. New York is special, but London.
Yeah, what I loved with New York, although I didn't hate the course, it is a good way to see the place. The crowd were insane in New York as well. I thought they were really good. They're brilliant in London, don't get me wrong, it's like our home race. But New York was pretty good as well. It was up there.
You know what I appreciated more about London, though? There was just as much crowd support, but the barriers were a bit better. I love crowd support, don't get me wrong. But when you have people like the Tour de France, like patting you on the back as you run through the streets of Brooklyn, it feels very claustrophobic and kind of like makes me uncomfortable. And like it's just a lot of emotional energy that goes into that I didn't really have to face in London, which was nice.
Got you. Next one, your coffee, white or black?
I mean, I'm drinking an iced coffee that's white right now, but I like a black cold brew too. Really just depends on the day. I'll go with white though.
White. We're not really big coffee fans. Gareth's just starting to learn a bit more about it.
Yeah.
Get into it.
Before we move on to the next one, we need to give Hardlines a shout out. This is not our run club. This is a coffee company that's based in South Wales.
Sick.
And our last guest said you need to try Hardlines. So they sent us a care package last week, a couple of T-shirts, some coffee, and I've been trying them throughout the week. And I made an iced coffee on our stories, and people were disgusted with the way I made iced coffee.
What'd you do?
So I just thought it was just bang some ice in, pour some milk in, empty the sachet of coffee in, and mix it and drink it. And I was like, But they've given me the right. No, they've given me the right instructions, so we're going to have another spin on the weekend now. It's just never iced coffee where though.
No, that's the problem with us. We don't get afford enough to have iced coffee.
Yeah, it's a very American thing too, I feel like.
Yeah, my daughter, but I think she just drinks them because they look good or something. I don't know.
It tastes good.
You'd love Hardlines, actually. They've got like an old American diner vibe as well, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite.
Well, they've got one in Cardiff, so when you are in Cardiff, send your parents to go to Pontcarna, go to Hardlines.
I definitely will, actually. Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, do it.
Are they staying in the city centre? I assume so.
Yeah.
Nice. And last one on this or that from me, filled or glazed?
Wait, what is? Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Filled or glazed?
Oh, glazed. Yeah. I don't do filled too frequently.
No,
I got one that's filled with Nutella that I bought especially.
Ooh, that looks pretty good though.
And I've gone with the glazed.
Oh,
all right. I can get behind Nutella filled. It's the jellies and the creams I'm not huge on. That looks delightful. I'm very jealous of both of you right now.
I always wanted.
And so I can. I've done my session before we on down, so I do a treat.
Yeah. You should have done it during the session. That would have.
Yeah, but it was quite a tough one. 5 by 2. I don't think I would have been able to.
5 by 200.
5 by 2 Ks I done tonight.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no, that's brutal. That sounds horrible.
7 weeks, so I'm building my volume now.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's Berlin now? Because obviously I know we mentioned it. That's about 7 weeks, is it?
September 29th. Yeah.
Mine. Oh, actually, that's what I was going to mention on our. We've got a friend of ours who's on the pod who's also doing it, so we'll have to have him to catch up with you and say hi.
Absolutely. I have the next 3 days off. This morning I had to go get a little procedure's a loose term. I had to go get a little foot thing fixed this morning, so I got a couple days off.
Yeah, all good though. It could be all right.
We're all good. It's nothing structural, which is what I was worried. It was just I basically built the callus on the ball of my foot so much that they had to like scrape it down and then get in there and pop a blister that had formed underneath everything. So, yeah.
Got over to you with the Q&As.
Before we go into that, the donuts just reminded me of a business plan I once had where you get a 6-pack of donuts, right? And 5 of them have got custard in them and 1 has got mustard in them. I could never think of a room. And then it's like roulette, isn't it?
No, thank you. That's like those jelly beans that have like the bad ones in them.
Yeah, you wouldn't fancy a mustard donut?
I'm good on the savory donuts. I've had a couple of them, and they just don't do it for me. Maybe if it had like hot dog or something on it, like sausage on top, that would be halfway decent, actually.
Would you eat a mustard donut every day if the Sox won the World Series?
Yeah, if it meant the Sox won the World Series this year, sign me up. I will eat a lot of things if it meant the Sox will win the World Series this year.
Do they have a chance? Because obviously I have no clue on baseball.
I know. We are such an interesting team this year. We're gonna scrape by, hopefully, to get into the playoffs, and then hey, anything can happen if you get into the playoffs. So I would say the chances are probably less than 10%, but I have high hopes, hopefully.
But it's the hope that kills you in the end.
That's exactly what it is. They'll end up going on some crazy run and losing at the very end.
The Sox were quite popular in the UK in the 90s because a boy band called E17 wore a Sox baseball cap, and they were like massive boy band, and he had a Sox baseball cap. So they were quite like popular like, around like 97, 98 maybe.
These 90s, yeah, it's around that.
Yeah, mid-90s. So the Sox were popular, yeah. Nice branding, isn't it, the Sox logo?
It's great branding. It works really well. Wear it with everything.
Yeah. Okay. If your dog, what dog have you got? I can see the dog. I've seen your dog, but I can never remember which kind it is.
This is actually my parents' dog right behind me. This is a little dachshund pug. My dog, I have a yellow lab, and he's a big silly boy.
Yeah. Well, they say the dogs do represent their owners.
Yeah, but, no, he is too much like me sometimes, especially when he shit on the floor this morning.
If your dog could, what would his choice of running shoe be based on his personality?
My dog would wear those finger shoes.
Yeah,
the Merrill finger shoes.
Yeah.
No, he's a bit of a country boy. He'd probably have some kind of trail shoe, like a Moore V4 trail. That's probably one of my favorite trail shoes. He'd wear the same thing.
Bit more serious. How would you deal with the heat? Running on holiday in Florida was nearly unbearable. Nearly unbearable is such a weird description in there because it just means it was bearable.
Yeah, you were able to bear it, just nearly. So I've been doing these ice bandanas recently.
I've seen.
Yes, and they are tremendous. I didn't realize how much heat leaves my neck area, but they work really well and they cool me off. So shirtless, ice bandana, and just a ton of water, that you can't drink enough. I mean, the last week or 2 weeks ago when I was running and it was like 95 out, I think I drank like 16 ounces of water every 20 minutes, and you just have to stay on top of that.
When you've been in London, have you tried anything from Greg's?
Yeah, I've had Greg's plenty of times. A little bit of
What's
everything.
Your favorite thing from Greg's?
Oh, geez, we had I don't, what do you call like it was like a cronut, like it was like a pastry of sorts. I don't even know how to describe it. It was chocolate and pastry.
Pan of chocolate.
It wasn't like
That's
a pan chocolate. How do you say that? Pano chocolate? Pan chocolate? It was like it was like swirly though. I don't even. It was almost like
a twist. What's like?
Yeah,
it
was like a twisty.
It's covered in icing.
Yes.
Yum, yum.
Yes. What is it?
What was it?
They're called yum yums.
Is it a yum yum? That's what it is. It's got to be it. It's like a twisty, chocolatey pastry icing, just heaven. Like it was. It's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yes,
like, you know what it is. It's like a twist.
Yeah, I think I know what you're on about. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. I also am a sucker for a good pan au chocolat, or honestly, an almond croissant, always good too. There's Yep, one of those bad boys with the chocolate on it.
We're gonna tag him in now and hopefully get a Greg's deal.
Yeah, have him hook you up. There was, what was the other place?
That's a sponsor you want for marathon training, is it? Greg's.
You got to do a Greg's half marathon around London. Just stop at Greg's, and that's your fuel for the whole run.
Ooh, that'll be a lot of stops.
Yeah, not every Greg's. That would be impossible.
Yeah. Right. We've got 2 staple questions we ask as well. Which song would you add to our playlist? What's your favorite song to run to?
Oh man, I've been on this Chapel Roan kick. I don't know if she's made her way over to the UK. This pop star, she is so big right now. But my favorite running song, probably of all time right now, is Brown Eyed Women by the Grateful Dead. And just one that I can throw on every day and just cruise to for a while. So toss it on there. Europe 72 specifically.
I'm not familiar with the Grateful Dead. You, Nick?
I've heard of them. I've probably heard some of their music, but I'm not, I wouldn't know a song. Definitely. But I will be listening now.
I'm going to blow your mind with that one.
Yeah.
And who would play Alex Hermanson in a movie about his life? Am I saying Hermanson right there?
Yeah, dude, spot on. Who would play me in a movie? Can I get like a young Seth Rogen? Or
yes.
Or like
knocked up Seth Rogen.
Yeah, like knocked up Seth Rogen would be pretty accurate for right now. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Or Bert Kreischer, actually. I've been compared to Bert Kreischer a lot. He does the stand-up and he calls himself the Machine.
I don't know him.
Oh, you gotta look him up. He's pretty funny.
Excellent. But I'm gonna go with Seth Rogen for the.
Yeah, I like Seth Rogen more.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good, excellent, very good, very nice. Really enjoyed that. Anything we need to mention, Al, or anything? I don't know if that's chocolate or blood now on my finger.
Hopefully, the first one.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that. It flies by again. Nick, any questions or anything before we go?
Yeah, who's going to win the 1,500 meters in 20 minutes? One of the American boys got a chance of upsetting Jakob and Josh Kerr?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to see them go head and head. I'd love to see one of them throw a punch. You know, maybe make it a little bit more violent. I feel like the running community could use a little bit of. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, they could. We need it.
I think that the funny thing about running to me, and we talked about this the other day, is like I grew up playing like ball sports and like sports where you have locker rooms, right? So you get really good at like ball busting and like, you know, messing with the guys, and like the trash talk is a lot worse in ball sports. Like the cuts at a much deeper level. These guys, like, their trash talk is almost comical to me. They're like, "Oh, you got to eat my dust when I run past you." Come on, that's the best we could come up with right now. Like, And then like Sidious is making this a headline, like the worst trash talk we've seen in running. And I'm like, if this is the worst trash talk we've seen in running, we gotta take it. We need to take a class on trash talk.
I know. And Carl Lewis's aim must have been, "Hey, your lace is undone."
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? Let's start cutting at people's throats. All right, come on, let's make it interesting.
Oh, I'm going with Jakob.
I like Jakob in this one too. I think that he's been moving pretty well. He has kind of something to run for here, and I think it's gonna be a good final. I am actually excited to watch this one. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm Jakob. He's got something to prove after losing the Worlds last year. I think the Americans, one of them could nick a bronze. Maybe Kessler or Hocker always runs well in finals, so one of them could nick one.
I want Goose to win gold, but he just looks too nice.
Goose run well in the semi, and Goose run well in the semi.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as deep into it, so I don't even know who that is, but no. I know like the top three. Who?
Yeah, Yannick.
Yannick. Yeah.
It's just our accent.
That's got to be it.
Yeah.
There we are. Good. And Gabby Thomas in the 200 as well. I think it's going to be a double F for the 100-meter winner, but I hope Gabby wins.
Was it 200 tonight?
Yeah, 200 the last race of the day.
Yeah, I think it's the last one tonight. It's
great. That's a good night of sport for us now then. Happy days.
Yeah. Yep. Good after this. You've got to watch it now and then crack on with your day. It's nice over here because we watch and then we go to bed.
I know. I get to watch and then go eat dinner. I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. I was supposed to run until this morning, so now I'm not running today.
Do you feel pressure to make content that day then to say why you're not running, or just crack back on with it when you go back out running?
Maybe I'll make a video about it. Probably not. It's not that interesting. I only try and make videos about stuff that I actually find interesting. Like me getting my callus on the bottom of my foot scraped off isn't exactly like that cool.
Yeah. It'd be some weirdos if they really like that.
Right. Yeah, no, I think the only thing that could be beneficial, and maybe I'll talk about, is just like it being okay that I'm taking 3 days off in the middle of marathon training, and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm also coming off of a bender in Vegas, so like I'm really taking like 7 days off.
Yeah, and if just set up a Patreon. Is it Patreon in America as well?
Yeah, we have Patreon.
Yeah, just set up one of them for foot pictures and foot videos, and make a fortune.
I don't think you want to see these dogs. They are pretty beat up these days. I mean, 2,000 miles of wear and tear on them will do that.
Yeah. I'll do it.
You will. Right, Alex, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hope your parents enjoy Wales, and hopefully you'll get back over as well, and then we can get some donuts and go for a run along the bay.
Absolutely.
But in true podcast fashion, Nick, do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, again, thanks, Alex, for your time, and best of luck in Berlin and Chicago, and go and smash that time goal and enjoy them both as well. And thanks again, and that is it from another week from the Runs podcast. We will see you on a start line somewhere soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.